The calm. Before the storm, the stars above Earth shone quietly, but the calm of the night hid a dangerous truth, far beyond the human eye. In the cold reaches of space, a massive alien fleet drifted toward the Terran border, their ships like dark shadows against the glowing nebula. The aliens laughed among themselves, confident that no one would dare challenge them. Earth is weak, isolated, a small planet, one of their commanders said. They cannot fight back. But they were wrong, though they did not know it yet. On the small observation deck of the Terran outpost on Mars's moon, Captain Ryan Lee stared at the screen in front of him, his heart pounding, every blinking light a warning of danger, every sensor reading a grim reminder. The alien fleet was enormous, more than Earth had ever faced, yet he could not panic. He had to think, he had to prepare, even if the odds were against them, he whispered under his breath. We may be small, but we are not alone. We'll fight. Inside the outpost, the human crew worked quickly, their fingers moving over control panels, coordinating defensive turrets, launching drones into space for surveillance. Every sound of machinery echoed in the quiet room like a heartbeat, and outside, through the wide viewports, the black silhouettes of alien warships grew larger, closer, more threatening with every passing minute. Captain, sensors detect unusual readings near the asteroid belt, said Lieutenant Sarah Malik, pointing at the screen. We are picking up signals. They are not from our fleet. They are fast-moving, unknown, but not hostile. Yet, Ryan squinted at the readings, his mind racing. Could it be reinforcements or a trap? He thought. The uncertainty weighed on him, but he knew one thing. The aliens would not wait. They would attack first, strike hard, and leave. No chance for mercy. Meanwhile, the aliens were discussing their plan. Their leader, a tall figure named Varkon, his eyes cold and calculating, said, "We will destroy the outpost quickly, then move to Earth. Resistance is minimal. We will take their planet easily." His voice carried through the command ship like ice, every soldier on board feeling confident in victory, unaware that their calculations were about to be challenged in ways they could not imagine. Back at the outpost, Ryan walked through the corridors, checking each crew member, their faces pale but determined. "Stay sharp, everyone," he said. "We do not know who or what is coming, but we fight, we survive, and we protect Earth." The crew nodded silently, some clutching tools, some checking weapons, all ready to do their part. For this moment, they were more than humans. They were the first line of defense for their home planet, and they would not fail. Suddenly, alarms blared, red lights flashing across the observation deck. The alien fleet had moved closer, their ships forming a crescent around Mars, preparing for a strike. Panic could have set in, but Ryan stayed calm, his mind focusing. "They think we are weak," he said. "They think no one will come, but they are about to learn the truth." The crew watched as small alien drones launched, moving quickly toward the outpost, scanning, probing, testing defenses. Every sensor ping made Ryan's heart race. But he reminded himself, these are just scouts. They are not the main force. And with a quick order, the human turrets powered up, drones prepared to intercept, and the tension grew, thick like the vacuum of space itself. Outside, the stars seemed to dim as more unknown ships appeared at the edge of the system. Massive, sleek, faster than anything humans had built before, their shapes unfamiliar, but there was a sense of power in their formation, a silent promise that Earth was not alone, and Ryan's heart lifted slightly, hope flickering in the darkness. "Could this be it?" he whispered. "Our reinforcements?" The aliens paused, sensing the new presence. Their leader frowned, confusion flickering across his face. "What is this?" he barked. "Scan again. Identify the ships. They should not be here." But the readings only confirmed what they could not understand. Unknown vessels, massive, powerful, ready to intervene. Inside the outpost, Ryan and his crew watched in awe and disbelief as the new fleet began to move, slowly, deliberately, toward the alien force, their silhouettes glowing faintly in the distance, like silent guardians, and Ryan knew deep inside that everything was about to change. The calm before the storm was over. The real battle was about to begin. Earth was small, but it was not helpless. And the legendary fleet, long whispered in tales and secret files, was finally here, ready to strike back. And no one, not even the aliens, would forget this day. Arrival of the legendary fleet. The alien fleet paused, their massive ships hovering like predators in space, scanning the sensors for any sign of reinforcements, but nothing in their vast experience could explain the readings they saw. At the edge of the system, shapes began to appear. Shapes so large and precise, so perfectly formed, that even the most arrogant alien commanders felt a flicker of fear. Captain Ryan Lee leaned over the observation deck, his eyes wide, mouth slightly open. It's them," he whispered. The crew turned to him. "Them?" Lieutenant Sarah Malik asked, her voice trembling with both excitement and fear. Ryan pointed at the glowing silhouettes far away. "Earth's legendary fleet. The fleet we thought only existed in old files and secret archives. The first ships emerged fully into view. Massive warships, their hulls gleaming under distant starlight, engines glowing a deep blue, each vessel bristling with turrets, shields shimmering like liquid metal. Their design was unlike anything the aliens had ever seen. Sleek, powerful, deadly, and unmistakably human. Admiral Kira Santos, standing on the bridge of the flagship Defender of Terra, surveyed her fleet calmly. Her eyes were sharp, focused, and her voice firm over the communication lines. "Formation Alpha. Maintain distance but prepare for engagement. Let them see our strength, make them question everything they know." Her crew moved with precision, as if every command had been drilled for decades. The aliens exchanged confused looks. Varkon, the alien commander, growled through his communicator. "Impossible. No human ships can survive deep space at this scale. Identify these ships immediately. Are these reinforcements?" His voice trembled slightly, betraying the first signs of fear. Ryan watched as the alien drones paused in mid-flight, their movements uncertain, almost hesitant. The legendary fleet advanced slowly, methodically, surrounding the alien ships like an invisible net tightening. "They are not attacking yet," Ryan said, heart racing. "They are waiting. They are studying the enemy." The tension in the room was almost unbearable. Every crew member knew that one wrong move could trigger disaster. Yet, hope surged. The humans were small, yes, but their fleet was immense, and its arrival had changed the rules of the game entirely. Suddenly, the legendary fleet fired a single salvo of energy pulses, not to destroy, but to demonstrate power. The waves hit the outer alien ships with precision, disabling shields and knocking communications offline. The aliens panicked, scrambling to reorganize their formations, but the humans were already several steps ahead. Captain Ryan's eyes darted between the view screen and his console. This is bigger than I imagined," he muttered. The alien fleet was no longer the hunter. They were being measured, tested, and intimidated. Each human ship moved as part of a larger plan, a perfect harmony of attack and defense. Admiral Kira Santos activated the fleet's main communication channel, her calm voice echoing across the void. "This is humanity. You underestimated us. You thought we were weak. You were wrong. Turn back now or face the consequences." The words were simple, but in the silence of space they were terrifying. The aliens hesitated. Varkon clenched his claws around the control panel. "Do not underestimate them," he hissed, but deep inside, doubt had already begun to creep in. Even his officers, seasoned veterans of war, could not deny the overwhelming presence of the Terran fleet. Then, as if to remind the aliens that Earth had more than just ships, Ryan noticed movement in the asteroid belt. Smaller human craft, almost invisible, slipped between rocks and shadows, striking at alien scouts, disrupting their formations, disappearing again before the aliens could react. It was precision, courage, and strategy combined, a sign that Humans were not just strong but clever. The suspense was electric. Every viewer would hold their breath wondering, would the aliens retreat or would they strike first, risking everything? Ryan clenched his fists, knowing one thing for certain: Earth had shown its hand and the galaxy would never forget this day. As the camera pans of the observation deck would show, the legendary fleet loomed larger, engines glowing brighter, silhouettes shining against the black void. The aliens' confidence wavered. Something unseen, unstoppable, and truly human had arrived. The calm before the storm had ended, and the first hints of a battle that could shake stars themselves were about to begin. The humans waited, steady, ready. The aliens, confused and shaken, prepared for a war they thought they would easily win. And in the silence of space, a single truth echoed: Earth had arrived. Earth had struck back. The first strike. The silence of space shattered as the first human ships moved with lethal precision, cutting through the darkness like silver blades. Captain Ryan Lee watched the alien fleet through the observation deck viewport, his heart pounding. Every alien ship he had once feared now seemed vulnerable, exposed to the might of the legendary Terran fleet. Admiral Kira Santos, aboard the Defender of Terra, gave the order. Her voice was calm but sharp, echoing through the fleet's communication network. Attack. Hit fast, hit smart, leave nothing to chance. The fleet responded instantly. Hundreds of human warships moved in perfect formation, energy beams streaking across space, hitting alien cruisers with pinpoint accuracy. The alien fleet panicked. Their massive dreadnoughts fired back, sending pulses of energy that tore through empty space, but the humans were too fast, too precise. Each Terran ship moved as if it were one organism, dodging, striking, retreating, and then attacking again. The aliens had expected weakness. Instead, they faced strategy, courage, and overwhelming firepower. Captain Ryan saw his chance. With a small squadron of scout ships, he maneuvered through the debris of shattered asteroids, dodging alien fire, and heading straight for a key alien cruiser. We take that ship down, and their formation falls apart, he whispered. Determination burning in his eyes. His squadron followed without hesitation. The alien commander Varkon roared in frustration. Why are they so precise? This cannot be human technology. How can they move like this? But it was not just technology. The humans had learned, adapted, and fought with a skill that no alien had expected. Every strike, every maneuver carried purpose. Every human pilot risked life and death with courage beyond measure. Ryan's squadron slipped behind the alien cruiser, weaving between energy blasts and debris. They fired a concentrated salvo at the cruiser's engines and the ship shuddered violently. Alarms blared on the alien ship, systems failing one by one. Ryan grinned, his heart racing. We got it. Just a little more. Meanwhile, the main Terran fleet continued its assault. Human warships unleashed their secret weapon, high-powered plasma nets, cutting off alien reinforcements and trapping them in a deadly cage. Alien ships collided, shields overloaded, panic spreading like fire through their ranks. The legendary fleet did not just attack, they controlled the battlefield, turning space itself into a weapon. On the observation deck, Lieutenant Sarah Malik could hardly breathe. Captain, look, the smaller ships in the asteroid belt. They're taking out the drones before they can reach the fleet. Human fighters darted between asteroids, striking and vanishing, forcing the aliens into defensive chaos. Every move by the humans created confusion, fear, and doubt in their enemy. Admiral Kira spoke again over the comms. Humanity fights not for victory alone. We fight for every life on Earth. Remember that as you strike. Her words were simple, yet every pilot, every crew member felt their weight. Courage surged through them. Fear melted away. They were not just fighting. They were proving that humans were unstoppable. Suddenly, an alien dreadnought, larger than any Ryan had ever seen, emerged from behind the warships. Its presence was terrifying, a moving fortress of death. Energy pulses erupted from it, destroying human ships in seconds. Ryan's squadron dived, narrowly escaping, adrenaline pushing them beyond fear. "We can't let that ship reach the fleet," he shouted. A young pilot, Lieutenant Marco Diaz, took a daring move. He flew straight toward the dreadnought, weaving through its heavy fire. With precise timing, he launched an explosive payload directly at its shield generator. The dreadnought shuddered, systems faltering. Ryan's squadron followed, striking again, until the massive ship limped out of formation, smoke and sparks trailing behind it. The alien fleet began to retreat, confusion spreading faster than damage. Varkon could barely speak. "Impossible. These humans. They are everywhere. They are perfect." The alien ship scrambled, retreating to avoid complete annihilation, but the humans pursued, relentless. Through the chaos, Ryan and his squadron regrouped, watching the battlefield. The once confident alien fleet was now disorganized, frightened and weak. Every human ship, every fighter, every pilot had contributed to this first strike, proving that Earth was no longer a small planet in the galaxy. The calm of space was broken. Energy beams streaked across the void. Ships exploded into brilliant flashes, and humans proved that courage, intelligence, and unity could overcome even the most fearsome enemies. The first strike was only the beginning, but already the galaxy had seen a new truth. Humanity would not be defeated. And somewhere, at the edge of the Terran system, more unknown ships waited, their intentions hidden. Ryan knew the fight was far from over. The real battle, the one that would decide the fate of Earth, was still to come. The first strike had ended, but the war for survival was only beginning, and Earth's legendary fleet had already shown that when humans fought together, no enemy was too strong, no battle too impossible. Turning the tide, the battle hung in the void like a storm frozen in time. Alien ships drifted in chaos, their formations broken, their confidence shattered by the first human strike. Yet they were far from defeated. From the flagship of the aliens, Varkon's eyes burned with fury. "Humanity has surprised us," he hissed, "but they will not escape the next wave." Captain Ryan Lee stood on the observation deck, sweat glistening on his forehead, fingers tightening on the console. The legendary fleet had won the first strike. Yes, but the aliens were regrouping. "They're smart," he muttered. "Too smart to give up easily. We need more than firepower. We need strategy." Admiral Kira Santos had already seen the pattern. From her flagship, she commanded quietly but decisively. "Activate Shadow Protocol," she ordered. "Deploy the stealth drones. Force them into confusion. Make them fight ghosts." The fleet responded instantly. Tiny, near-invisible ships slipped between asteroids and war-torn debris, moving unpredictably, striking, vanishing, and striking again. The alien sensors went haywire. Every time they thought they had spotted a human ship, it disappeared, replaced by another. Their formations cracked further. "What is this?" Varkon growled. "They multiply like shadows." Panic began to replace confidence. Meanwhile, Ryan led a squadron through the debris of destroyed cruisers. His small team moved carefully, using the wreckage as cover, closing in on the alien command center. "This is our chance," he whispered to his squad. "If we take out their command ship, the rest will fall apart." His team nodded, hearts pounding, every move precise, every decision critical. Back on the alien flagship, chaos erupted. Energy beams crossed each other in a deadly dance, drones collided midair, and alien officers shouted over broken comms. They had underestimated humans, and now every strategy they had relied upon was failing. Then, as if to test them further, the Terran fleet executed a move no alien could predict: the Phantom Strike. From multiple directions, human warships appeared suddenly, attacking from blind spots, disappearing just as quickly, leaving destruction in their wake. Entire alien squads were caught in energy nets, immobilized and easy targets. Ryan's squadron reached the alien command cruiser. The ship's hull was massive, towers bristling with weapons, but they had found its weak point. Ryan's hands moved over the control panel, launching synchronized missiles directly at the shield generator. The cruiser shook violently. Sparks flew across its hull, systems failing one by one. Inside, Varkon screamed orders, but confusion and fear had taken hold. "We must retreat, we must." His voice was cut off as another human strike hit the cruiser's main engines. The alien ship lurched, barely holding its formation. It was the first real crack in the armor of the once mighty alien fleet. Admiral Kira Santos watched from her command bridge, calm yet commanding. "Good. Keep pressure on them. Make them think we are everywhere at once. Make them doubt everything." Her words were simple, but every ship, every fighter followed them perfectly. Humans were not just fighting. They were controlling the EA battlefield. On the observation deck, Ryan could see the alien retreat beginning. Ships that had once been arrogant and confident were now scattered, trying desperately to escape the Terran fleet's relentless pursuit. "They thought they could crush us," he said quietly. "They thought Earth was weak, they were wrong." But Ryan knew this was not the end. The aliens were clever. They had retreated only to regroup, to strike back with even more force. Every pilot felt the tension. Every crew member braced for the next wave. Yet, in this moment, humanity had proved one undeniable truth. They could fight, they could survive, and they could turn even the direst situation into hope. Suddenly, sensors picked up movement far beyond the battle zone. Massive ships previously unseen were emerging from the shadows of a distant nebula. "Reinforcements?" Ryan whispered, eyes wide. The legendary fleet had won the tactical fight, but the war was far from over. The aliens had allies, and a greater challenge waited in the darkness. The calm before the next storm was over. Humanity had turned the tide, but the galaxy held secrets that no one had yet imagined. The next strike would test every human, every strategy, and every ounce of courage. And in the silent void, the legendary fleet waited, ready. Because when Earth fought back, it did not fight alone, and no one, alien or otherwise, would ever underestimate humanity again. The final battle and humanity's triumph. The galaxy seemed to hold its breath. The alien reinforcements had arrived, massive warships gliding silently through the nebula, black as shadows, bristling with weapons capable of destroying planets. On the bridge of the Terran flagship, Admiral Kira Santos stood tall, her eyes scanning the growing threat. The legendary fleet had turned the tide, but this final battle would decide the fate of Earth. Captain Ryan Lee tightened his grip on the controls. His squadron flew in perfect formation around the main fleet, small ships weaving between massive warships ready to strike. "This is it," he whispered, "the moment no one will forget. Humanity fights for every life, every home, every planet we love." The alien commander Varkon's voice boomed across comms, dripping with rage and disbelief. "You are only delaying the inevitable, humans. Surrender now or your world dies today." But no one surrendered. No human flinched. Fear had no place here. Every pilot, every crew member, every soldier knew that Earth's spirit was stronger than any weapon. Admiral Kira raised her hand, signaling the attack. "All units, engage. Strike as one. Strike as many. Strike like Earth will never fall." The Terran fleet surged forward, a wall of steel and fire. Energy beams lit up space, streaking across alien ships like lightning. Explosions erupted as the first wave of human firepower hit. The aliens fired back, immense waves of destruction, but the humans dodged, weaved, and countered with precision that seemed impossible. Captain Ryan led the daring maneuver. His squadron dove through a corridor of asteroids, striking the alien flagship from below, where shields were weakest. The flagship shook violently as concentrated fire tore through its hull. Alarms blared, and the alien crew panicked. Ryan's heart raced, adrenaline and courage merging into one. "Hold steady," he shouted. "We finish this now." Meanwhile, Admiral Kira deployed the stellar net, a massive energy trap that surrounded the alien fleet. Ships tried to flee, but the net closed like a cage of light, forcing them into chaos. Entire alien squadrons collided, destroyed by their own confusion. Humanity's strategy was not just firepower, it was intelligence, teamwork, and creativity. On under, the alien flagship Varkon struggled to regain control. How are they so coordinated? How do they know every move we make? His command systems flickered, his orders ignored as humans struck relentlessly. It was not just a battle, it was a lesson. Humanity could think, adapt, and fight in ways no one had expected. Captain Ryan's squadron reached the flagship's core. The energy reactors glowed, a ticking heart of destruction. "We can't fail," Ryan said quietly. "Everything depends on this strike." The squad fired a synchronized salvo, piercing the reactor, and the flagship trembled. Energy cascaded through the ship, sparks flying, systems failing. The massive warship lurched and then exploded in a blinding flash, sending shockwaves across the battlefield. The alien fleet faltered. Without their command ship, their reinforcements scattered, disorganized, and vulnerable. Humanity pressed the attack, relentless. Smaller alien ships tried to flee, but the Terran fleet intercepted them. Every strike, every movement, every human act was precise, deadly, and unstoppable. In the observation deck of the Terran flagship, Lieutenant Sarah Malik watched, tears forming. We did it," she whispered. "We actually did it." Captain Ryan smiled, though his face was grim. "Not yet," he said. "The battle ends only when the last enemy ship falls." Seconds felt like hours. The remaining alien ships fired desperate shots, but the humans were everywhere at once. It was a storm of strategy, courage, and sheer determination. The last alien cruiser exploded under the combined fire of the Terran fleet. Silence followed, broken only by the cheers of human crews across the galaxy. Admiral Kira spoke over the comms, calm yet commanding. "Today, Earth has shown the galaxy that humans are not weak. We fight for life, for freedom, for hope. Remember this day. Humanity is unstoppable." Captain Ryan looked out at the field of battle, the stars shining through the smoke and debris. They had faced an impossible enemy, a fleet that had seemed invincible. But humanity had outsmarted them, outmaneuvered them, and proved that courage, intelligence, and unity were stronger than any weapon. Varkon, the alien commander, drifted through the wreckage of his flagship, his eyes wide with disbelief. "Impossible, humans, unbeatable," he whispered. And with that, the remnants of the alien fleet retreated into the darkness, defeated, shattered, and forever wary of Earth. The Terran fleet regrouped, battered but victorious. Ryan and his squadron flew over the battlefield, watching the rising sun reflect off distant planets, the galaxy peaceful once again. The war was over, but the legend of humanity's courage, strategy, and unbreakable spirit would echo across the stars forever. For the first time, every human, every soldier, every pilot, every citizen knew the truth. When Earth fights, no one can stand against it. The greatest Armada, the most feared enemy, had been beaten, not just by technology but by humanity itself. And as the fleet returned home, stars glittering around them, the galaxy understood one undeniable fact. Humanity had risen, and nothing would ever threaten Earth again.